All right, BLACKTREE TV, we got a special edition of Hollywood Talk today with actress, comedian, Miss Luenell. How you doing?
Hi. It's hot here in LA.
Yeah, it's hot. It's heat wave out this piece.
That's why I ain't got on no, this is the Luenell natural.
Yeah.
Because it's just too hot for all that foo-foo stuff right now.
Now, you had a busy year this year. I mean, this is like the third picture I'm seeing you be a part of, and I'm sure I don't have the whole script on everything you've been up to, but I mean, I've seen you as a stripper.
Yeah.
And That's My Boy with Adam Sandler, and you were working at the Bacon and Legs Club. It's hilarious.
Classy Rick's Bacon and Legs, to be specific.
And right back with Adam and Andy again, right back at Hotel Transylvania. So
Yeah.
how did that relationship work, where y'all working on two pictures kind of like back to back?
Well, obviously it worked quite well, right? Because anytime you get in the Sandler camp, you know, and he likes you, he has a tendency to reuse you. I told him that I don't see him have a, you know, particular house sister that he reuses over and over again, and I volunteered to be that. Well, lo and behold, he called me for Hotel Transylvania, produced voiceover for this fabulously colorful 3D epic cartoon, animated feature, as it were. And the premise of the movie is that it's a hotel where, you know, like Dracula and the Mummy and the Wolfman and stuff like Frankenstein, when they're down in the town, people are trying to run from them and kill them. But at Hotel Transylvania, they can cool out, you know, have a spa day or whatever like that. So I do the voice of Shrunken Head. Shrunken Head, sort of hang on the door and talk trash when people walk by and regulate.
Are you talking in your natural voice, or you had to like kind of switch up the voice?
Some things I switched, like when they were laughing and stuff like that. But it's hard for me to do any voice and not still sound like Luenell. Yeah. I can do other voices, but it's another voice that still sounds like me. So right. Yeah.
Now, I know you do a lot of stand-up, and I mean you're hilarious on the stage. But how different? I mean, if you're in a booth, in a voice recording booth doing an animated film, how are you delivering without getting that interaction and feedback from an audience? Is it tougher to just? Well,
you're not in a booth. First of all, you're in a big room with a big movie screen that's showing what your character is, and you sort of bond with the character, like, you know, it's kind of cute, and they usually have some just, you know, PA or something that has said your lines so that you can hear what it sounds like coming out of the mouth of the character. But then you put your own spin on it. I think it's great. I had only done it once before, and that was for an episode of the Boondocks. And when you don't have to get dressed up, you don't have to get made up, and you don't have to memorize your lines, it's a dream job. I would do that over and over and over again. Plus, I'm in a cast with some great people, you know, like CeeLo Green and Steve Buscemi and Selena Gomez, Fran Drescher. So I'm in really good company. It was up to me to, you know, rise to the occasion. I didn't want to let Adam down, let my kid down, or anybody who's going to see the film myself. So I had a great time, and I hope that it fits in, you know, perfectly with everybody else.
How did you get into this world of, you know, first stand-up comedy and then film? And was that like a natural progression of it? Did you see like that you was going to do stand-up and you wanted to be on screen doing films all along, or like how did that whole process happen? Can you take us through a little bit?
Well, I actually started out in theater in Oakland, California, at the Oakland Ensemble Theater, and stand-up was never my intention. I wanted to be a background singer for Luther. That was, you know, my delusion of grandeur. But and I did sing and do sing. I sang in a choir, sing, you know, around town. And the comedy came about just because one of my roommates when I was living out here in Long Beach many years ago was dating a comedian who ran a club. And he would be around the house all the time. He thought that I was very funny. And he told me so and said whenever I felt like coming down to his club, if I ever did feel like coming down, he would put me up sight unseen, that he just knew I could do it. And I had no intention of doing it. Then one night, the margaritas got me, me and the girls, and I said, come on, let's go on down this club, see what he's talking about. And he did put me up. And I did kill it right out the gate, because I didn't tell jokes. People at barbecues tell jokes. Comedians, great ones, tell stories, you know. Richard, Bill Cosby, George Carlin, they tell stories. So I had a couple stories I related. They were very funny. And just so happened that that particular night, the late Robin Harris was in the house. And he came and approached me. And, you know, had I known then what I know now, I would know that was a really big sign, you know. And so he told me to go here, and I went someplace else, went to the comedy act where he was performing and hosting every week. I met a very young D.L. Hughley. We started doing shows together, and it just sort of snowballed. And I think it is a natural progression to go from comedy to film or television, because there's a desire for shows to have a comedic actor on. A lot of times they bring something extra to the scene that can't be written. You don't have to write for them. They basically write for themselves. And it's just a part of exposure. I started doing comedy before BET Comic View existed. So when Comic View existed, it put us on television. It wasn't always that way. You could work for years and years in the comedy field and never really get on television. But this was a vehicle to put us on. I did it like 9 seasons in a row.
For more exclusive coverage of our latest news and entertainment, be sure to subscribe to our BLACKTREE TV channel, and don't forget to click on either arrow on either side to watch one of our most commented videos.
Chad Ochocinco headbutting his wife, oops, is not a surprise to me, because I've always thought he was a little bitch anyway. Lil Wayne is definitely cut out to skateboard. He already looks like he's crashed into a tree or two.